Chapter 10. Computer Programming. Computers are powerful machines that help us do many tasks, from writing documents and making spreadsheets to running huge systems that handle millions of transactions every day. However, computers cannot work on their own. They need instructions from a programmer to know what to do. This process of giving instructions is called computer programming. Programming is the process of instructing computers to perform several computing tasks. From a simple calculation for computing highly accurate machine learning models, we can get anything from computers and smartphones. The only problem is that computers don't understand human languages, as the central brain behind it only understands binary signals. This is where computer programming comes into play. We use a programming language to make computers understand the exact specific steps to perform for our desired output. This is very similar to instructing someone to make a cup of tea. We tell them the same precise steps to prepare the tea. As long as the other person doesn't mess anything up, you can both enjoy a good cup of tea. This means that a programmer's main job is to write code, which is like a special language that computers can follow to do tasks. Who is a computer programmer? Computer programmers create instructions for a computer to execute by writing and testing code that enables applications and software programs to operate successfully. Computer programmers use specialized languages like C++, Java, Python to communicate with computers, applications, and other systems to get computers and computer networks to perform a set of specific tasks. Some of the common tasks a computer programmer is required to master are: testing software performance, resolving computer software problems, modifying software programs to improve performance, writing computer programming code, collaborating with others to resolve information technology issues. Basic concepts of any programming language. Here are the 6 basic concepts of any programming language: variables, control structures, data structures, syntax, debugging, function, fact GPT. Programming languages can be used to create programs that control the behavior of a machine and to express algorithms precisely. Variables. Variables are the backbone of any program, and thus the backbone of any computer programming language. In computer programming, a variable is a storage location and an associated symbolic name that contains some known or unknown quantity or information, a value. In a simple way, a variable is a way to store some sort of information for later use, and we can retrieve this information by referring to a word that will describe this information. Variables are created using a declaration or keyword that varies across languages. Variable names are usually alphanumeric, that is, they contain AZ and 0 to 9. They can also include special characters like the underscore or the $sign. Variables can hold values of any data type supported by the programming language. This value may change during program execution. Control structures. A control structure is a block of programming that analyzes variables and chooses a direction in which to go based on given parameters. The term flow control details the direction the program takes, which way the program control flows. Hence, it is the basic decision-making process in computing. Flow control determines how a computer will respond when given certain conditions and parameters. Let's see an example. Here's a piece of Java code. So, you can see above that we have a variable, and its name is your age, and we are comparing your age to 20 and 12. If you are less than 20 and more than 12, then you must be a teenager, because you are between 13 and 19 years of age. Inside of this control structure, if the value assigned to the usage variable is between 13 and 19, then the code will do whatever is inside of the first segment between those first two curly braces, and it will skip whatever is inside of the second code segment, the second set of curly braces. And if you are not a teenager, then it will skip the first segment of code and it will execute whatever is inside of the second segment of code. This control structure is known as an if-else structure. This is a very common control structure in programming. Let's see another example with a while loop control structure. This while loop control structure is also very handy. Its purpose is to execute code between those curly braces over and over and over until the condition becomes false. So, what's the condition? The condition is between the round brackets, and in this example, it checks your age to see if you are less than 18. So, if you are less than 18, it will continuously execute the code inside the curly braces. Now, if you were 18 or older before the while loop control structure is reached by the code flow, then it won't execute any of the code inside of the curly braces. It will just skip that code and continue executing code below the while loop control structure. Data structure. In computer science, a data structure is a particular way of storing and organizing data in a computer so that it can be used efficiently. A data structure can be defined as a collection of data values. These structures include operations that can be applied to that data. Data structures are important in computer programming for organizing, managing and storing data quickly and efficiently. Some common types of data structures include data structure, primitive data structure, int, char, float, double, non-primitive data structure, linear, nonlinear, linear, array, stack, queue, linked list, nonlinear, tree, graphs. Let's see an example. In this example, we need to keep track of 10 contacts. If we need to store 10 contacts, we would probably define 10 variables. String contact 1, contact 2, contact 3, contact 4, contact 5, contact 6, contact 7, contact 8, contact 9, contact 10. Contact 1 Naman Verma, naman.verma@somecompany.com. Contact 2 Mihir Saxena, mihir.saxena@somecompany.com. Contact 3 etc. In the world of programming, this is just a terrible way of trying to store 10 different variables. This is because of two main reasons. The sheer amount of text that you'll need to write in your program. Right now, we only have 10 contacts, so it's not too bad, but what if we had 1000 contacts? Imagine typing that out 1000 times. The flexibility of code. If we need to add another contact, we wouldn't be able to do it without manually editing our code. We would have to go into our code, physically write out contact 11, and then try to store whatever information is needed in the new variable. So, what is the right way? It's a data structure. Here's the code. List contacts is equal to new array list. You can add and remove things from a list with ease. So, if you started with 10 contacts, it's a piece of cake to add another contact to the list. Just like this, contacts.add Naman Verma, naman.verma@somecompany.com. Contacts.add Mihir Saxena, mihir.saxena@somecompany.com. Here, you only have to create one variable, say contacts. Add random contact means that the code is much more flexible and dynamic. The outcomes of the program can change depending on what variables you give to it. That's really the key to using data structures. Syntax. Every programming language has its syntax. The syntax of a programming language is the set of rules that define the combinations of symbols that are considered to be correctly structured programs in that language. It is almost impossible to read or understand a programming language without its syntax. For example, a series of English words, such as subject a need and does sentence a verb, has little meaning without syntax. Applying basic syntax results in the sentence, does a sentence need a subject and verb? If the syntax of a language is not followed, the code will not be understood by a compiler or interpreter. Compilers convert programming languages like Java or C++ into binary code that computers can understand. If the syntax is incorrect, the code will not compile. Interpreters execute programming languages such as JavaScript or Python at runtime. The incorrect syntax will cause the code to fail. That's why it is crucial that a programmer pays close attention to a language's syntax. No programmer likes to get a syntax error. Fact GPT. What is basic syntax? Basic syntax represents the fundamental rules of a programming language. Without these rules, it is impossible to write functioning code. Every language has its own set of rules that make up its basic syntax. Naming conventions are a primary component of basic syntax conventions and vary by language. Case-sensitive, Java, C++, and Python are examples of languages that are case-sensitive. Identifiers such as world and world have different meanings in these languages. Languages such as BASIC and SQL are insensitive, meaning world and world have the same meaning. Class names. Java requires the first letter of each word in class names be uppercase. For example, class first Java class. Languages such as C or C++ use an underscore to separate words. In C, the class name would be first Java class. Program file names. The name of a Java program file must match the class name with the extension .java added to the name. For example, first Java class.java would be the name of the program file for the class first Java class. C and C++ files require a .c or .cpp extension but have no other stipulations. Different languages may have rules for adding comments using white space or declaring variables. Object-oriented languages such as Java and C use methods that have different syntax requirements. The first step in learning any programming language is to understand the basics such as phrase structure, proper syntax, and correctly structured code. Debugging. Debugging is the routine process of locating and removing computer program bugs, errors or abnormalities, which is methodically handled by software programmers via debugging tools. Debugging checks, detects and corrects errors or bugs to allow proper program operation according to set specifications. Function. A set of codes is used to carry out specific tasks. A function can take parameters that will affect its output as well as return values. Functions prevent unnecessary redundancy because you can use them as much as needed instead of retyping some code over and over. For example, if you need to multiply two numbers, instead of doing the calculation manually every time, you can supply the data to a function through some parameters which will do it for you. Benefits of computer programming. Creatively solve real-world problems. Coding encourages a problem-solving mindset. Facebook lets people connect and stay in touch quickly. Google is revolutionizing the internet by providing relevant search results to users. From ordering food online to buy rented furniture, you can solve any problem with the power of computer programming. The critical step is to identify a common problem and then develop a solution that can improve the experience and lives of people. Develop cool mobile applications. Mobile users are growing at an exponential rate. With affordable options available, smartphones are now expanding their reach in the rural parts of the world. As a result, there is a massive demand for skillful mobile app developers. As a mobile app developer, your main task is to create an app that is robust, secure, and delivers a seamless user experience. With a simple game such as Flappy Bird or a utility app, you can garner a huge number of app downloads and also earn the right amount. If you know basic programming concepts and design models, you can be an excellent mobile application developer and join a good company for a long, rewarding career. Create games that users love. People love playing games on their browsers, smartphones, gaming consoles, or any other device. As a game developer, you can cash on this opportunity and penetrate the market by creating unique and addictive games. The game doesn't have to be as complicated as PUBG or Call of Duty. Simple mobile games such as Flappy Bird also have huge earning potential. Explore artificial intelligence and other future-ready trends. Artificial intelligence is the technology of the present and future. From intelligent and friendly chatbots to self-driving cars, AI is radically transforming the world we are living in. As a programmer, you can get your hands dirty in creating AI applications or bringing the AI element to current systems. Learning and becoming an expert in the AI field will be a massive advantage in the coming years because there will be a considerable gap in the demand and supply of talent resources. Recapitulate. Programming is the process of instructing computers to perform several computing tasks. Variables are created using a declaration or keyword that varies across languages. A data structure is a particular way of storing and organizing data in a computer so that it can be used efficiently. Compilers convert programming languages like Java or C++ into binary code that computers can understand. Different languages may have rules for adding comments using white space or declaring variables. Gloss GPT. Alphanumeric, consisting of or using both letters and numerals. Parameters, a numerical or other measurable factor forming one of a set that defines a system or sets the conditions of its operation. Seamless, smooth and continuous. Chatbot, a computer program designed to simulate conversation with human users, especially over the internet.